So most personal trainers that try to succeed in the online space when it comes to growing their coaching business don't. Not because they don't work hard enough or they don't care about their clients. They actually don't succeed because they believe a bunch of lies that simply don't serve them and don't allow them to grow in their coaching business. In this video, I'm going to share the lies. I'm going to share what holds back a lot of personal trainers from growing, starting and building their coaching business, and the simple solutions as to how you can fix it so you can ultimately live life on your terms. You can travel, you can earn the money you want to earn, and you can grow your dream online coaching business in the process as well, just like I have and just like many of my clients have as well. So in this video, if you're a personal trainer on the gym floor right now, if you're working on a job dreaming of ditching that and growing your coaching business, I'm literally going to go through the entire process as to what's holding a lot of people back and how you can fix that so you can actually start growing and building your coaching business. I'm going to break down the harsh truths that nobody's actually telling you about growing a business and how you can actually change it and make that actually work for your perspective. If I look down at my iPad a little bit, it's purely just because I have a few notes of the video so I can structure and get you the most value possible. So if I look down for a second or two, please forgive me, that's why. But yeah, let's dive into it. The first harsh truth that a lot of personal trainers don't realize and don't actually make is that nobody actually truly cares about your qualifications. Like, I remember when I was qualifying to be a personal trainer, I used to think like this is a holy grail and having my personal training qualifications would solve all my problems. But here's the truth and here's the reality. None of your prospects, none of your leads, none of your potential clients truly care if you're a level 3, if you're a level 4, God forbid even a level 5 qualified personal trainer. Nobody really deep down cares, so you don't need to speak about that in your content. You don't need to share your qualifications as much. All the people that you want to work with care about is, can you actually help get them a result? Can you help them move forward towards their dream outcome? If you can do that, they'll be much more inclined to work towards working with you, right? So one of the very best things you can do when you're starting to grow your coaching business is ditch you talking about your qualifications, ditch talking about how good you really are as a coach, and really start talking about how can you get someone from their pain and their struggle where they're at now to bridging that and helping them overcome and achieve their dream outcome. If you can do those two things in your content, you're going to get much more leads coming into your business, and it's going to be much easier to get clients and calls and sales for your coaching business. So that's the first harsh truth you need to make, is to realize and swallow this pill. Swallow the pill to realize nobody truly cares about your qualifications, how hard you work to get there, and where you are now. Because the simple truth is this: everyone nowadays can get qualified as a personal trainer online in a few weeks' time. So don't talk about that. Talk about you being able to get them from where they're struggling and where their pain is. We'll really demonstrate and really talk about the pain in your content and showcase how exactly you can solve that in your content. If you do that, it's infinitely easier for you to help your people and actually get them a result, right? That's the very first thing. The second harsh truth is a bit of a controversial one, but it's actually simple. It's that posting good workouts, posting any workouts on Instagram, on social media, is simply not good enough anymore in order to get clients. And what I mean by this is actually rather simple. Anyone can post workouts on social media, influencers, coaches, people that just like fitness. So if you just post workouts, people are going to tune out because there's just so much sheer amount of content of fitness workouts on social media. You need to go a level deeper than just talking about pain, and you need to go a level deeper than just talking about workouts and really demonstrate that you understand the person in terms of what they're struggling with and where you want to go. If you can do that better in your content, you're going to get infinitely more clients. And if anything, I'd actually go heavier in your content towards doing those two things, but also as a byproduct, really get people to know your story, know who you are, know what you do, and know what got you into fitness. If you can get people to buy into you, they're much more likely to want to work with you than if you just share your workouts. But that's the second big lie and the second big thing you need to shift in terms of stop posting workouts and start posting content that gets people to know, like, and trust you, and also to think this coach is like, it's like they're inside my head. Like, one thing we do with all our clients is really reverse engineer, like, where is the person they want to work with and how can we get inside their head. What we want to do with your content is have people think this coach is really reading my mind. If we can do that, we're literally winning when it comes to content, when it comes to social media, and when it comes to getting clients to build your coaching business. Like, what are the things your people you want to work with? What are the stuff that are keeping them up at night between their ears? What are the thoughts? What are the goals, aspirations in their head? Think about this for a second, right? Think about your prospects. Think about them feeling a certain way or thinking a certain thought. Like, oh, I feel like I have a holiday coming up. I have some belly fat I want to lose around the midsection. And think about this. Think about them going on their phone. They check their Instagram. They check their social media. The very first or the second post they see on Instagram is your hook on your social media saying the exact same words they were feeling just 5 seconds or 10 seconds ago or later in that day, right? That's going to be such a strong potential client. They're going to tune in and they're going to watch the rest of your content. So really start thinking about trying to find and understand what are the things that are keeping your people at night, what are they thinking, what are they feeling, what are the thoughts going through their mind. Because if you can reverse engineer and find those, it's going to be infinitely easier for you to get more clients coming into your coaching business as well. That would be the second harsh truth. The third one is that you're not competing in the coaching space. You're not competing with other coaches. You're simply competing with your own insecurity and your own obscurity as well, right? There's so many coaches, myself included, when I first got into personal training and fitness coaching and online coaching in general, I was so obsessed with what every other coach out there was doing. What kind of workouts they were posting, what kind of content, how in shape were they coaching people just online, was it in person? And without realizing it, I made all my content, all my marketing throwing shots at other trainers. When you do that, when you become so obsessed with other coaches, you're no longer directly speaking to the people you want to work with, and you're not creating that emotional pull to get people moving forward towards your coaching. So it's a bit of a self-development tool here, but one extremely powerful thing you can be doing with your content, with everything you're doing, is just focus on getting people moving forward from seeing a bit of content, seeing your pain, seeing their pain, and you demonstrating that and you moving them forward towards a goal. If you can do that in your content, it's going to be so much easier to get clients. But so many coaches want to look good in front of other coaches, they want to look good in front of other trainers, and all of these things are actually what's holding them back towards moving forward. If you can do your very best to block out all that noise, unfollow all the other coaches if you must, do what you need, but just get obsessed about really creating an Instagram page, an Instagram presence, and a personal brand that's genuinely inspiring, that's genuinely helpful to people you want to work with. Because if you can do that, dude, like, getting clients becomes so easy then. It's such an unlock, right? And that's the third biggest truth that I see so many coaches actually not make soon enough, that's actually holding them back towards making progress. We have two more big ones to go through, but just as a little pause, right? If you do find these videos helpful and you do want to genuinely see more of these kind of content, I post a ton, but I don't know like how much Instagram is going to show you this content, and if you're going to see it consistently enough. So if you do genuinely find this helpful, like hand on heart, I would highly suggest giving this account a subscribe, just so you can see more when I post it, because you don't want to get left to the Instagram algorithm and the gods on Instagram, right, on YouTube to see the content. I highly suggest just giving it a subscribe so you can see more of this kind of content if you do genuinely enjoy it. If not, obviously don't, but food for thought. The fourth biggest truth, however, that coaches need to make sooner, in my opinion, the brutal truth to growing a coaching business, is to understand that a website, a logo, or a fancy funnel at the very start is simply not going to save you. At the very start, when you're starting, when you're building your coaching business, one of the biggest skills one of the biggest things you need to master and get good at from going from 0 to 5k per month with your coaching business is the quality of your conversations. The quality of your conversations with potential people you want to work with, and you communicating your value. Communicating your value through content, so through speaking through people one to many. So one post like this, one video I post like this might get seen by 10 people, 20, 100 people, I don't know. The second thing is content. So one to many is you make one bit of content, it's a conversation that you have to a lot of people. So that's one type of conversation skills. The second type of conversation skills is one-to-one. So one-to-one conversations could be someone watches your content, they think your brand, they think your message is very good, but they inquire, they drop you a message. This is one-to-one conversation. So they might message you on Instagram, they might book a sales call with you. This is where you need to get really good at having like one-to-one conversation skills as well. And most coaches think they have this nailed, but the reality is a lot of the time they don't, because one-to-one conversations when it comes to sales needs to be both motivational, but it also needs to handle people's objections. Because the reality is this: if someone has 20 kilos to lose and they've struggled to lose those 20 kilos for the last 20 years, they're going to need to be motivated. They're going to need to be pushed a little bit on the sales call for them to move forward towards your coaching program. So this is why it's actually really important to be able to maneuver these conversations to move people into, buying your coaching program. So they may have some concerns, they may have some objections, and this is where your job is there to move people forward into a sales call. And I share this because it doesn't sound sexy, right? It doesn't sound sexy to get good on your conversation skills and your content, and also in one-to-one sales calls or messaging conversations. So many coaches would rather focus on a website, email lists, funnels, because they don't get rejected. But they don't get rejected, but they also don't make any money. So who's winning, who's losing in that situation, right? So if you do want to genuinely make a ton of money with your coaching business and you want to build and grow it, one of the biggest things you need to do and get good at is content and conversations. If you get good at these two things, I hand on heart believe those are the only two skills you need at the start to grow to your first 5, 6, 7, even 10k months fully online in your coaching business. Like, that's the one thing I got good at that allowed me to go from literally a dead broke 17-year-old to running a multi-6-figure online agency by the age of 21, just getting good at speaking to people online and through content, right? So super powerful. The fifth and the last biggest truth that people need to get good at as well and need to accept, the quicker you accept this fifth truth, the quicker you can grow your coaching business, is this: that sales, that messaging, that DMing and having these conversations is not a sleazy thing. And ultimately, like, hiding behind your content and just hiding behind an email list, hiding behind your content, hiding behind your stories, whatever it might be, is probably the most sleazy thing you can do if you genuinely want to help people, right? And I genuinely mean that. If you genuinely want to help people and you genuinely want to be a good coach, one of the very best things you can do is just regularly interact and regularly have conversations with people engaging and consuming your content. Because that's going to allow you to do two things. It's going to allow you to understand brutally and honestly if the people watching your content find it useful, find it helpful, how you can make your content better and more engaging. It's also going to give you a fast opportunity to make sales and get people buying into your coaching program. If you're simply trying to create content and wait for people to consume all of that content to grow, it's going to be such a long, slow, draining, painful process that you probably will give up before you ever make any money online with your coaching business. So one of the two best things you can do is pair your content with conversations. If you pair these two things together, it's so much quicker and so much faster to make money inside your coaching business. It's why my personal promise in terms of the mentees I work with inside of my program is so bold, in the sense that I can promise my clients that they're going to make at least £3,000 fully online within 90 days of working together, because I know how good our delivery on those two things are. I know how good the systems and how good the education models are in terms of content and conversations, because once we nail those two things, you can make money in your coaching business so fast, you get momentum, and you can build so fast off the back of it. But most coaches try and hide behind their content, they don't do it, and it's more like a pain by 1,000 different cuts, because you don't see money coming into your business fast enough, and you eventually give up. If you want to see fast momentum, pair these two things together: content, conversations, nail both, and you can literally get clients probably within the next 30 to 90 days just by doing those two things consistently and doing them well. If you nail those 5 truths, you can literally win in your coaching business, and it's going to be so much faster and so much easier to win inside building your coaching business. But one of the biggest reasons so many coaches basically fail to grow online is because they literally chase comfort. It's easier to build a website. It's infinitely easier to build a website than to get rejected in DMs or get ghosted, right? One is instant gratification, and the other one is potential rejection and you looking and feeling stupid. And this is why so many people struggle to doing it. It's easier to design a logo than show your face on Instagram Reels. It's easier to study another course than to actually sell your coaching. That's why most PTs stay stuck making anywhere between £500 to £900 online in their business. So that's why I would say it's so important to imagine this, right? 2 trainers at the exact same time. One spends 3 months building a brand, a website and a logo. The other spends those 3 months posting reels every single week, putting up stories and DMing every single new follower they get from their content. Who do you reckon would win quicker in that 90-day period? The one in the trenches, the one that's actually having conversations, and that's the harsh truth in terms of growing and building your coaching business as well. So just to wrap up with this video, here's the 5 harsh truths, and here's absolutely everything you need to shift in order to grow and build your coaching business. Your qualifications simply don't get you clients anymore. It doesn't work, it's dead. The second thing is content alone simply no longer will cut it. You need to have a really good sales process on the back end to actually be able to start converting and closing clients. You're not competing with, the third biggest truth is that you're not competing with other coaches. You need to start overcoming, and you're competing with your own insecurity and your own obscurity. If you fix those two things from a mindset and a personal issue, it's way quicker to grow. The fourth is to stop obsessing over pointless stuff like websites, logos, funnels. Start obsessing over the things that will actually pay the bills. The fifth big truth is that you need to have more conversations inside and out of your business, because that's going to build the biggest amount of leverage and the biggest amount of opportunity to grow your coaching business. And those are the harsh truths about what it actually takes to build and scale your online coaching business after having helped hundreds of trainers and coaches, and after scaling mine to selling over $2.5 million in fitness coaching programs. So probably know a thing or two when it comes to this kind of work. If this hits home and you want to literally grow and guarantee the growth in your coaching business, there's a link below to apply to work with me one-to-one to help you do that. And if you find this content helpful, make sure to hit subscribe and hit the like button so you can see more content just like this when it comes to building and growing your coaching business as well. And I'll see you in the next one.